We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ACG, where we're just a couple gamers. It's your boy Smooth, and we are back with another episode. This is episode 47, entitled the first ever Worley Draft. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very fun episode because I've already had this experience. I've already been through this before. And I want to just let everybody know right now that this is not something that's actually happening. This is a, what if this took place in War Elite? Because it's a very good possibility that something like this could work in a game like War Elite, because it worked in a game that's very, very similar. Is there anybody here?
I cannot hear you.
What? Can you... Wait, Vadim, are you with us? He might just be listening. So, we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to say a big shout out to everybody who's been supporting the channel that's not from War Elite. We really do appreciate it. And I'm starting to notice that a lot of players from the other games that I'm sponsored by are leaking over into War Elite and vice versa. But first, so it's very nice to see, and it's very cool to see so many players from so many different communities all coming together. We got Michael Spinella now. What's up, my man? How are you? Nice to see you. Who's in VC right now? We got we got Smash in the building? Is that Smash? Waking up? Maybe he has his cup of coffee on him?
Yes, very clever.
My man, how are you? Welcome.
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, man. Good morning.
Yep, good morning. So, what will your content today be?
This is another one of those things where it's like it's not actually happening, but a what if scenario. The topic today is the first ever War Elite draft. So what happened is that in another game I played actually not too long ago, we had two mafia families. After a certain amount of time, players dwindle, and the server, the amount of players was getting smaller and smaller, but we had two active families, and except for players were starting to leave one family and go to the top family. We didn't want just one family, so the power was very unevenly distributed. And so with that said, I had an idea to do a War Elite, or not a War Elite, the first ever draft that ever happened in the game, and players could sign up if they wanted to, and if they signed up, their name would be put on a spin wheel, and then we did the spin wheel, and their names were randomly picked, and we distributed it. We would do a name, and then that would go to one family, do a name, and go to the other family, and we distributed it evenly, and it worked. So we're going to talk about today, all about that, about what it would look like if it happened in War Elite. Could it happen in War Elite? Would it work in War Elite? All types of really cool stuff. But I need just a second to finish getting this situated here.
Okay,
You want to talk to the people about anything?
I
know you're just waking up.
No. Yep, correct. Give me a bit more time. Like
No
maybe
problem.
Berlin.
Got my man still waking up over here. Completely understandable. What just happened? What happened? I don't know what happened. Oh no. We got Discord. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Discord.
So are we actually on live now?
Discord is acting a fool, bro.
Okay.
Give me a
But
second.
are we on the live stream now? No,
What's that?
right? Are we on the live stream now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Except I don't know what's going on. I got this thing on my screen.
Oh, this drop. All right.
I don't know what this is. I've never
The
seen this
drop
before.
that you were mentioning, whether it will work in War Elite or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
this
so the
is-
players actually
Hey y'all.
decide whether they want to be in the drop, right?
Give me 1 second. There it goes. I knew it was Discord. I knew it was Discord. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had a little glitch. Hopefully everything is still copacetic. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose the momentum of the show here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got Lethal in my inbox. I gotta check that in a second. Alright, we gotta get back in the call here.
Are y'all go mute or what?
Okay.
No. Hi, Mac. How are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, I'm doing good, my brother.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank God.
Yes, sir.
Thank God. Alright. So now, I just have to get the chat up so we can see the chat. We got Lethal in the building. Hey.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen. Alright, now I just gotta check to make sure everything looks good. Make the adjustments, and then we can get into this. We have Machiavelli in the house. Say what's up, Mach.
Hey, what's going on, peeps?
Is there anything in the... Wait, hold on a second. We got Salty Dog saying a draft. I did think a schoolyard draft for number 1 and STM would make a game fun, but people do like to play with their friends. Also, would cost a lot to move. Yeah, and so it's crazy you said that, because I was gonna say, you know, specifically we did it for one server. I never thought to do it for all the servers. For like let's call it, since we're saying this is a server, let's say that server 4, server 5, server 6, and server 7 all together are a zone. Alright, so that would be crazy to do it for a draft for a whole zone, all 4 servers, excluding server 8. Server 8 wouldn't be in that zone. That's a crazy idea, but I love it. But like
Wasn't
he said,
that what the North was about?
what?
I said, wasn't that what the North map was about?
I think that was just like a show of strength, right? It was just a competition between the servers to see who was the strongest. Right, Smash?
Well, I was saying about the zones. You know, it's like whenever they migrated everybody went into zones.
Yeah, that's true. So basically, we were looking for a solution because our server was dwindling. We had been there had been 2 families, strong families, active families, and over time they started to dwindle. And so we were looking for a solution. Okay, how do we maintain the player base that we have? Because what was happening was we had one family, which was my family, was very popular, and so a lot of players were coming over to our family, and we had a lot of the power players. and we were realizing that this is not going to work long term. The only way this is going to work long term is if we figure out a way to distribute the power in the server evenly so that there's still a competition. Well, I don't want to get into our story in that game because that's not the important part. The important part is knowing that it worked, right? We distributed it evenly, like literally 98% of the player population in the server all signed up with the acceptance of like 2 players, right? So like it was a success. So I mean, like it can be done, but like I said, that was just one server. That wasn't a whole zone. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't 4 servers. So let's talk about both. I'm glad, Salty Dog, thank you so much for bringing that up, because that's actually a really great point. We can talk about both. We can talk about what that would look like in one server and what that would look like in all 4 servers, if all 4 servers were to participate. So Machiavelli, you're here. Smash, you're here. You guys want to go around, and we'll go around and I'll ask you guys questions about this topic.
Yes.
Smash here.
But do a quick explanation on exactly what you're talking about, a draft.
Okay, so
you're talking about like the
Yeah, no problem. So basically, a draft looks like this. Everybody can, like, we made a tab, and everybody put their name in there who wanted to sign up, and then we took all those names, and we put them on a spinner wheel, and we spun the wheel, and whatever the arrow on the wheel landed on, that player went over to a family. And then so the first player went over to one, because there was only 2 families, remember, right? So we that one player goes over to one family, we spin the wheel again, then that player goes over to the blue family, and we spin the thing again, and then that player goes to the red family, spin it again, then it goes to the blue, back to the red, back to the blue, and we did that until all the players were distributed evenly. And you know, like I said, it worked. So it's like,
you're talking about just one server, right?
So I wanted to talk about one server, but Salty Dog brought up the fact that, you know, what if it was done with all 4 servers? If all 4 servers all went to the...
Yeah, but we don't have control over that.
Right. So it would be only players that could afford to move. Only players that had the certificates, the migration tickets. But again, now since it's a imaginary world, let's say everybody can migrate, right? Let's say but it was just for a short period of time. Like, you had to take advantage of it. Like, hey, there's a window. There's 1 week. If you want to move, you can move. So let's just pretend that's the case. Smash, are you with us?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I knew who was here for the conversation. Shout out to Wraith. Wraith, you're amazing, man. Thank you so much for showing up like always. Wraith says Salty is already here. Lethal says...
Tell him Mach say what's up.
What's that?
I said, tell him Mach say what's up. Well, hell, he can probably hear me.
Yeah, he can hear you.
Shit.
Lethal's in here too. Said I got my food while I watch. Okay, so again, guys, let's talk. Let's go. We'll go around. First, we'll go with Smash. Then we'll go with Mach. Smash, what do you think about this? Is a like a 2-part question here. What do you think about the idea of a draft? If again, in an imaginary world, people had a limited time to move to a specific server. Once they move, you know, you got that 1 window of time to move back. If you don't like it, you got a week to move back or whatever. Or however this is just an example. However the case would be. What do you think about this type of scenario? That's the first question. And number 2, would you sign up for something like this if your server was dwindling and you were losing players, and the only way to really make it a livable situation where everybody can still have fun would be to split the family up into two families and distribute the power. Would you sign up for something like that?
For me personally, I'm not against idea like that, but ultimately, what I feel is that because the players will actually, you will get players who are not willing to move. All right, they are not willing to have any changes. Although yes, we can help to balance up the alliance or in terms of power when you're doing something like a draft. But when those players are not willing to move, when there are players that are not willing to move, and meeting up with new players that's willing to move, will there be some kind of conflict
You're saying, would there be some type of conflict in the voting scenario?
Not really voting. Is that, for example, I do not like certain player from certain alliance in certain server, and this player actually took part, and so unfortunately, he was drafted into my alliance. Will it actually cause more conflict?
Got you. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a chance, you know, that people would be have to be willing to take, for sure, because you know there's always that no matter what, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But again, this is all willing, right? Nobody's being forced.
Yeah.
So you can always leave or whatever. Or you could have safety measures in place where it's like a voting situation where it's like if somebody does get put into a family in a draft, then people can veto or something like that somebody's entrance into the family, and then they vote on it. You know, if somebody's like, hey, I gotta, you know, I want to dispute this because this player's being an asshole ever since he joined.
Yep.
You know, you could do a vote, and then if that person's voted out because he's being an asshole or whatever, then he has to leave. And if, you know, he wants to cause problems, well, then you got a problem with all of us. You know, something like that. But anyways, so that was, you said that you didn't have a problem with the idea. Would you, if you were in a situation where your server was in a crisis, and you know the common consensus was that all the players were like, hey, we need to do something to make things fun again, would you be opposed to doing something like that? And again, this is not for real. This is just in an imaginary world.
Right. Seriously, I'm all out for anything that can help the game get better and more fun for all the players.
Cool. Yeah, me too, dude.
Right. For me, this game is not about myself. Although I'm playing the game, but it's not for myself. I'm playing for the game.
Right.
You know, the reason why we are doing all this live stream, all these podcasts, is also because we want to create more popularity within the game, to let more players come into the game and play together with us. So as long as anything can help the game in getting more players involved, playing together, I'm fine.
Cool, man. What about you, Mach? Two-part question.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think about it? And would you do it if you were in a situation where it was presented to you?
First of all, you got to be realistic. Trying to coordinate all that between all them servers, that's I don't think we'll be able to realistically do it without the developers. You know, and you're gonna have people that you know, us moving may ruin the game for them, and they just can't get there. You know what I mean? I think more coordination with the developers. Say, look, hey, You know, why can't we just, or hell, just start the north map again? You know what I mean? Like every 30 days, you know, do the north map. Okay, but, and to answer your other question, if it was presented and, you know, in a way, I'd be 100% to jump on it. You know what I mean? Like if we can make it work, then yeah, man, you know, you gotta be
talking
positive.
You're talking about this server, or are you talking about all servers?
I'm talking about all servers. Or are we talking about just one specific server?
I was talking about our server, but I mean, if you're talking about all of the different servers.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So you're saying everybody in server 6, let's say 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because I assume we'll go to whoever has the most members already in. That probably would be the best server to be in. But let's say we take 6, server 6, and we do the draft of everybody that's in server 6, and we create, you know, maybe 3 families, 2 families, and you know, that's the family you're in. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and again, in the imaginary world, we have tons and tons of players. I'm not talking about the current player base we have. I'm saying maybe like when the server first opened or something, you know, like that amount of players.
I got you. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah. So.
But the developers would have to make it a little easier to migrate, though.
Well, yeah, 100%. In my mind, they would be like, okay, you got 5 days. Within that 5 days, you can migrate to whatever server you want. Check it out. If you don't like it, go back to your original server or pick a server. You know what I'm saying? But then after that 5 days, boom, closed. Can't do. You know what I'm saying? Then you have to wait. You know what I'm saying? Until they decide to do it again or whatever. But
yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. I would like to put up an example because you are talking about working together with the developers, allowing people to migrate within this couple of days, right?
Yeah.
So let's get back to this scenario. What happens if this really happens and some big whale, for example me, I suddenly move my account to server 8, or is it just only based for 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7? This 4 server. That means for the old server, it only. Then it's okay. Then it's okay. As long as it doesn't include the new server for the time being, it's okay.
Okay.
Because I can foresee that when this is, if server is included, a lot of old players with big accounts, they will probably jump to server 8. They will take this opportunity to go into the server 8.
Damn. You think all? Yeah. I mean, 100% server 8 would have to be excluded.
Yeah.
But as far as, you know, these 4 servers are concerned, do you think, because this kind of goes back to what we talked about the other day when we were talking about, you know, whales, if somebody did decide to migrate, like you decided to migrate to a server with bad intentions, you know, would they be able to withstand the onslaught? Now, my other thinking is during the migration period, there's like everybody's bubbled, right? Like for that 5 day, you like everybody, whatever the window of time is, while players are migrating or whatever, you get a bubble or something like that, where you can't be attacked, or it's like a protection period. Because during that time period, that would give players time to search the entire map and see who came over, where they're at, try to talk to them. If they're not talking, you try and figure out if they came over with bad intentions. If it's like, okay, if like this guy is here with bad intentions, what do we do? Right? Also, it gives players what?
I said, kick his ass. That's what we do.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If the window of time is, let's just say 5-10 days, right? Okay, if you see players coming in your server and they're not responding to you or they're being hostile in chat, you know that they're there. Now, if they're just not responding, it's probably for a reason. Now, if you have friends that were over in a different server that were big, maybe bigger than the people that are just showed up, you could be like, hey, look, I know it might be a little expensive. You think you could come over because we might have a problem? You know what I'm saying? But it's like the ability to call in favors and be like, hey man, you want to come over and help us out? Like, that would be dope. But again, this is all just imaginary world. It's imagine the devs made it easier to migrate. What do you
To
think?
me, I think it's more workable if it's done within the server itself instead of multiple server. I feel that we gotta take it a step at a time. If we're gonna do something like this, we work on the individual server. That means probably this server there might be one main alliance and a couple of smaller alliance. I'm very sure that there's a few small alliance in server 6 that they are not willing to be, they are not really that active, but there are a few smaller server in server 6. So if they are open to it, we can. But instead of like trying to split up the players, what we are actually trying to do is trying to get all active players into one alliance. If let's say there's definitely enough space for every player in server 6 to be in one alliance, because there's so many inactive players that we can kick out from each and every alliance that's in server 6. So I'm definitely it will be much easier for us to work being in one alliance first, and of course definitely when the game starts to grow, if it, let's say it's gonna really start dwindle, then we can talk about a merge with another server. That means probably maybe we can go to another server to play or whatever. But since that we already come to the point of stage that whereby there's already players like for example as in your scenario, there's already players that's already starting to leave the game. There's two alliance, one which has more power, the other one if let's say has lesser power, then it will be okay for these two alliance to do a draft so as to balance it out.
That makes sense. Well, that's the whole point, right? Is balance. That's the whole point of doing it.
Yep.
In your opinion, though, what are some things that could go wrong, and what are some ways we could do things to kind of put like a safety net? You know what I'm saying? Like if the devs are like, okay, we're willing to do this, give us some ways we could do it, and then some ways that we could make a safety net in case somebody decided to come over and be a dick.
I wouldn't think opening up the server for migration with no limit will help.
Wait, say that again?
You still have to. That means there's no limit cap for the migration during this transition. Right. That means player get to move around the servers during this period of time.
Yeah.
Right. There still must be a cap for each individual server to protect their own server.
Gotcha.
You know. Right. Although there's not much big whale currently in the game that can cause really huge damage to each and individual server, but there still are a few whales in the game currently that's still in the game that could do that. So we still have to protect each and individual server from the whales. Like for example me, You might never know. One day I might just decided to go crazy and just want to go around and killing people for no reason.
So how do we?
Alright.
So how do we protect ourselves against you?
No, the migration cap in each server still has to be on.
Well, again, in this imaginary
So
world,
the players
there's a 5 to 10
So that-
5 to 10 day window.
Right, I could pretend to be a good guy for 5 to 10 days.
That's true. What are you trying
Right.
to say?
And when this window
what are you
is
trying
closed-
to say? That you're actually a villain? Is that what
No,
you're trying to say?
I'm just. You say it's a imaginary, right?
Yeah.
Right, it's a scenario. So when there will be players that actually play along with the rules of the game. Right. For instance, I'm gonna pay a very simple example. Do you know that I do not train my full troops on the 4 type of full troops on a daily basis? I do not train them max out. I only train them at the amount that they will be completed within 23 hours.
Why do you do that? So you get a new set every time you log on?
Yes, and I do not have to use any training speed up. I can keep all my training speed up, right, for events that need me to train through. Because training the 4 troops, getting the 4 types of troops being trained is part of your daily task.
Ray said in imaginary world, I'm stronger than Smash.
Of course.
Yo, that is funny.
Yep.
He said,
Right.
yeah.
So it's like there will be players who actually will know how to play by the rules of the game. Right. So if you say it's 5 to 10 days trial for this player to decide whether if he gets to say or not, this person can just pretend to be nice to everybody when he moves to the new server. But the moment this migration shut down, that means nobody can leave and he cannot leave. He can start the havoc. Then
I mean, that's true.
there's no way to stop him unless everybody work together to fight him. And that's going to be a very big task because everybody got to make sure everybody get on at the same time in order just to beat one guy. And you couldn't possibly get that done in games like this. It's very difficult to get everyone in the server to be on at a certain time just to fight one guy.
Damn.
And what it does, it actually kills the game off. People will start, forget it, since we cannot beat this guy, let's quit.
Well, you're scaring me. You're scaring me. Now I'm reconsidering this entire idea. Machiavelli, you still with us?
Yes, sir.
So you're up to
Yes,
bat.
sir.
You're up to bat on the mic here. What are some problems you would foresee if this were to happen, and how could we solve or try and solve those issues?
And we're talking about trying to get everybody online at the same time to do what?
No, I'm saying
Exactly.
like I'm saying if the dev said, okay, you got a window of time to migrate for free, what are some issues you would foresee with that scenario, and then how do you think we could combat those issues?
I think if we do a lot of communicating and we're able to get a hold of a lot of people and kind of get their thoughts on it, then yeah, I think we could do that. But like I said, the issues would be not getting in touch with them. There's people that play this game and they don't even play anybody else. They just got their own little world going on.
So you're saying communication?
I'm serious.
So
I've seen them, dude.
Communication is going to be the biggest problem.
Yeah, and it probably should need to come from the developers, Lethal and them, those people that do all that stuff on the Discord page and shit.
Got you. Okay, so now the other question is this, right? We're talking about distributing the amount of players. How do you distribute the power? Because there might be situations where you got players like Smash that are just really big, or you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you distribute those players?
Well, first of all, you got to think about the issue with the alliance. All different alliances are in different stages of getting tech. So let's say everybody came to 6. Who's going to be the person that gets lucky to have that alliance, the STM alliance, along with all the buffs and research that we got?
That's true too, right? That's true too. You gotta figure that into the entire thing.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Just delete the whole alliance and everybody start over? I don't think so, man.
I mean, for me personally,
I know I've spent a lot of gold on research. So.
Well, for me personally, I would say you exclude certain players from the draft that are too big, right? Like, you just say, okay, look, you're too big to be randomized. You need to stay where you're at, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be in the same family as Mr. Fantastic because you guys together or whatever are too much, or Machiavelli and Fantastic can't be in the same family because they're too good together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would figure out a scenario in which...
Yeah, but who stays and who goes?
Right.
You know what I mean? Are we just going to let this alliance just kind of just go empty, or, you know, I think that's a good question. I mean, you know,
I'm going to get isolated.
What I just brought up. So.
What do you say?
Am I going to get isolated when this thing happens?
You're not part of this. Sorry, you can't be part of this.
But then again, I would like to say something regarding this. Then it will not be fair for the spenders, right?
Right.
Because if, let's say, you were to...
Yeah.
If the spenders are not involved in this, the spenders could jolly well just be in one alliance together, and you will have a harder time, man, for the other alliance.
Wait, say that last
all the
part?
whales being in one alliance, you guys gonna have a even a tougher time trying to win them.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at things on very a lot of different perspective views that it might happen, right? Because it's not that it did not. It happened in the previous game I played.
What's that?
The couple of big whales all gather in one alliance, and they are unbeatable in the server. In the server versus server, this alliance is unbeatable because of the money they invest in the game.
Damn. So.
And it will kind of like unbalance up the game. And when this whale alliance, the player in the whales get bored.
Yeah, but
when all the non-spenders start quitting, they quit the game. Then it's the end of the game.
Yeah, but why would you want to do that? Why would you want to all be in one alliance?
Right, simple. For me, let's say I as a spender, right, and the developers or you all came up with a draft like this, but the whales, those with very big power, they are not really included. They will practically be playing alone. Then why not make use of this opportunity to gather everybody that's being who is not included in the game, and gather this player as one. Because definitely we play this game, we want to play with somebody, we don't want to just play alone. And it might be a kind of sign to go against the game, to show that the game that we are. You all should include us in future plans when you all want to do something like this,
I see what you're saying.
and not just because we are strong, and when you want to try to balance up the game, you can never balance up the game, and we get isolated. In games like this, it's really very difficult to balance up the game unless everyone in the game agrees to it.
That's interesting.
There will be players that, oh, I only want to play with certain player. I only want to play with these people in the alliance. I don't want to play with certain player. I don't want to be in the same alliance as certain player. There will be this kind of issues happening in games like this.
Okay. That's interesting to think about. Players unifying to unbalance the system in order to get the developer's attention. That's interesting.
Why don't we just all go on strike?
Well, that's essentially what it is, right? It's like we can behave.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure we can all give up a day. I mean, even a day would probably knock them down, man, if you get a couple hundred.
I mean, you're not wrong. For sure. Okay, so let's think of another scenario. What's another scenario in which this is just an imaginary world? We could get whatever we wanted. We want the devs to put anything in the game. But they're like, you can only pick one thing. Now, what would be really cool in an imaginary world is each server could pick something different, right? So, and that would give players a different reason to want to go to different servers. Imagine that. Like, each city's different. You go to this server, you get this really cool thing. You go to this server, you get this really cool. So imagine the devs say, okay, players, you get to pick one cool thing, but you guys got to vote on it. Now, this is gonna cause turmoil, because it reminds me of like the real world elections, right? Where it's like you get to vote, but what if what you voted for was shit, right? Because you don't know what it's gonna look like when the developers put it into the game. But let's just go ahead and say they say, okay, guys, you guys get to vote. Let's think of some things that would be cool that we could put into the game. What do you think? I was thinking like a Hitman situation, where, because this is a mafia game, right? And it's interesting to me how they call it a mafia game, but in the real world, the mafia has nothing to do with purchasing packs, right? It's about like skill and like taking people out. It's about like all types of things that have nothing to do with research power or real power. So really, in any world, money is power. So it was the people that had the most money could get you whacked. Right? So imagine there's some type of feature in the game where because again too, it's like you couldn't just go whacking anybody in the mob. In the mafia, it was like you had to have permission. Like all the other bosses of the different families had to say yes or no on whether or not that hit was sanctioned. If you went and whacked a made guy of a family, yeah, that would cause a war. But also, the bosses of all the other families are gonna go, "What are you doing? You can't just whack a made guy." And then like an underboss, you would really, like, they would kill you. If you whacked an underboss, they would whack you. If they didn't say yeah, you could do it, because it was about respect, right? It was about like, so imagine there was that type of scenario where, hold on, let's just pull it up here. I wish they would label it a family instead of an alliance. I hate that. They're changing things to like King of Avalon, where you got heroes and alliances. I wish it would be like family and then like, anyways. Let's look at the members here. So you got Ash Bash, you got Smash, you got Mach, Salty Dog, I'm Just D, and Thomas. So and that's your officers. So let's say these are your underbosses. Let's say you have 4 underbosses. You got the Consigliere, which would be Smash, and then you have all these capos here. So these capos, like if there was a real war going on, these capos down here would be technically made guys. They would be untouchable. But if you were to try and whack one of these guys, it would start a war. Now, if you were to whack one of these guys here, the underbosses or the consig or the don, you would need permission from the family or from the bosses of the other families in the server, right? That would be a dope ass feature. What do you guys think about something like that?
Remember what I shared with you the other day about the server rules?
Yeah.
That what I did in my previous game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if we are talking about making sure that the kingdom, the server growing together as one for the server versus server with this agenda or with this goal that we have for the server, right? And with this kind with players actively playing, then it will be easier to set rules like this against rogue players, right? Because as I mentioned, we can come out with the housekeeping crew, right? They can go against they can clear out all the players that actually left the game for a certain number of days. We will have a policing group that will go around chasing after the rogue players, right? Killing them off the game. It's still workable.
So you think that something like that would work here?
Right. As I mentioned, that it can work, but first of all, we need to make sure that the popularity of this game increases, having more players in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then we can actually move on to the steps, because as you know, we also have title givers. There's titles actually for players to ask for that can actually increase, that can help them in the growth in the game. Like for example, scientists. There's also construction. There's also titles that actually help you train your troop faster. There are, but it's just that because of insufficient players playing the game, so practically there's nobody asking for these titles except for those players that know about these titles. Like for example, Totino, he will be constantly asking for title whenever he need it. But we don't really see a lot of other players that they ask for the title. I'm not sure whether other people in the community, they know about all these titles that we can actually give out to players to help them actually like for their technology, for their research of technology, for their training of troops, like for their construction. I'm not sure whether people in the community, they know about this or not, because I honestly speaking don't see people asking for titles.
Let's do a video. We can put that on the poll for topics. Let's add that to the topics list.
I personally feel that a lot of players are still playing this game blindly, not fully understanding how this game works.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's just like, they watch the podcast. Oh, okay. They said, as Smash said, oh, complete my daily. Oh, I just complete my daily. Oh, I cannot let my troops be free. Oh, so when they come back, I just send them out to collect resource. There's more to the game other than this, right? What we are doing here is that we are also studying the game, how to make it better. Like we are also studying the heroes that's actually available. We are reading at all their skills. Even players like me, I'm still studying the game. So I don't know why the new players can be so complacent that they feel that they don't have to study the game.
You say you don't know why they feel so complacent?
Yep. Assuming that they already know everything about the game.
Dude, no way. I just ran out of resources for the first time.
What?
Yeah, dude, I ran out of resources for the first time.
Oh.
I just ran out of
Use
diamonds.
I can't send you more. You already mix your max. Max out the. So actually all these things can be done. Like what you mentioned, it can be done. Like let's say, fighting against the rogue. Like you see, even in the capital, we have titles like the clown that give you debuffs.
Mm-hmm.
These are buffs that actually the game actually prepared. They already have it prepared. They do see this coming. They do. That's why they have all this buff and debuff. It's like this game, the developers actually have already seen so far into the game, probably to what I've shared. But it's just that we do not have enough players.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate too, because I really do feel like we could do a lot more with this game the more players we have. For instance, could you imagine if Sea Battle was just non-stop? Bro, that would be great.
Yep. Yeah, I will definitely be playing them during my free time.
Yeah.
I will. But now is that the developers are also trying to make some adjustment to it, because we have shared with them what we felt was the reason that a lot of players are not really playing Sea Battle. Like for example, those AFK players or player who didn't accept the game after waiting for a certain period of time, which makes those that are ready to play the game have to go through another phase of waiting time. Mm-hmm. It kind of like turned me off. There was a day that I and Tim was waiting on getting match for like 40 plus minutes.
Yeah, that's no bueno, bro.
And boom, the next thing is that we will rematch again. We have to wait again. And due to time, or everybody have their personal life issues or things to handle, so probably Tim couldn't wait longer, so he had to leave the game, which he had to went out of the group. Then I also didn't match again. So these are the things that the developers are really working on. So I do see a very good prospect that I do see something that's good that's going to be coming on for the Sea Battle, right? Even Mach, he was constantly playing Sea Battle recently. I saw him trying to invite in the alliance chat, but I couldn't join them at that time was because of their rank.
Well, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, what we're doing is definitely helping, and I'm always trying to think of more ways that we can better what we're doing, and I think that as long as we're constantly trying to innovate here on the podcast, ways to get the community more active, and ways to fix certain features in the game, and getting the feedback from the players and the ideas, it's all going to cultivate into something that's going to help this game. And it would be a different story if the developers didn't care, but we know that they do. Is there anything
agree.
Is there anything you guys want to say to the people before we get out of here? Senor Mach. Wait, let me see something. Anybody? Well,
All right. Just to let the community know, today's topic is just a scenario that we painted out. It's not gonna be happening, so do not get flustered. Do not get overexcited. Right? It's just only a scenario that we came up with. Right? Hoping that we can get some more response from the community on how they will actually look at things. If things like this really happen, how would they actually feel? All right, what would their intake and what would be their feeling about this whole scenario thing, right? So please do not get flustered. Oh my God, these people guys, they might have this chance to come over to our server and cause havoc or whatever. No, please don't, right?
Yeah.
I just gotta make this clear, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I would like to say this is disclaimer alert.
Yeah.
This is all just a pretend world. This is smooth imagination here that we're talking about. So that's a really great point, Smash. Thank you for bringing that up. But again, like to emphasize what Smash just said, we do want to hear from you guys, and I'm gonna keep emphasizing this as much as I possibly can. I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions. If you guys missed the live stream, so you guys were not in the live chat, let me turn the music down. If you guys missed the live stream, so you weren't in the live chat, I love when you guys are in the live chat, but I really love reading comments after the live is over. So I would like to hear your guys' opinions on the draft situation. In the comments, please leave a comment. I would like to hear your guys' opinions on some cool ideas that they could implement into the game. Leave that in the comment. I want to thank iFun.com for sponsoring this content and all War Elite content on the channel. If you guys have not downloaded this game but you like what you see, you guys like these really cool city skins that they got, and you want to check this game out, and you haven't already, you can look in the description of this video for the link that has the Apple Play Store and the Android Play Store. You can download it there. If you do download it there, I really appreciate it. It lets the developers know that you found it on my video. If you guys have not joined the official War Elite Discord or the official War Elite Facebook page, you can find the links in the description below in this video as well. We appreciate you, Chat Mafia, for supporting us, and hit that like. It really lets me know that you appreciate what we're doing, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It lets you know every time we get you get notified every time we go live. And I want to thank Smash for showing up like always, Machiavelli. I want to thank the rest of our co-hosts, Ash, Vadim, and I want to thank everybody. Thank you so much for your support. We'll be back again. Wait, what's Sunday? Yeah. We'll be back again tomorrow at 1 UTC. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We love you guys, and until next time, peace.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you guys, man.
You're welcome. We're just doing whatever we can to help.
I'm gonna get some more topics together, and I'll have Lethal put it in the Discord again, so everybody can vote.
So the last vote, what was the hottest topic? Because I remember I also placed a vote.
Yeah, so the
I
vote.
couldn't remember.
The vote last time. Let me see here. The vote last time. What the hell? Oh, I'm not in the right thing. Sorry. So last vote. Oh. Here we go. So I put. We had 2 topics: feared or loved, great power equals great responsibility, and neither. And we had 5 votes for Fear or Loved, and then we did that episode. So now
Right.
in the next one, we'll put great power and great responsibility back into the poll, and then we'll put some more topics in